Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a makeup look with waterproof makeup, and we're also going to be doing a wear test, and at the end of the day we're actually going to see if this waterproof makeup can withstand a swim in the pool. So stick around to see how that turns out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so today we are going to start off with our eyes, and I'm using the e.l.f. Sheer eyeshadow primer. Just put a little bit of this on my eyes. So hopefully when we do take our swim later, our eyeshadow will actually stay on our eyes as well. So just blend that all over the eyes. Make sure we got our lid good and covered. So today I am using some of the bite-size e.l.f. eyeshadows, and this one is the Berry Bad colors. So the first color I'm going to use is this one right here. We're just going to spread that all over our eyes. I love berry colors. They're some of my favorite colors to work with. And I love these little bite-sized eyeshadow palettes because you can get a bunch of different looks when you get a couple of them, and it's not a whole lot of money at all. Okay, we got that all over our eyes. Now let's go ahead and use some of this dark color right here to deepen up our outer corner. I'm just using a brush like this so we can really pack it on. And these eyeshadows, even though they're only $3, they really do a good job. They blend really easily, so you don't have to work super hard to get a really pretty look. Don't forget to run that eyeshadow all the way across, just at the top. Okay, now we got our dark color on. Let's go ahead and use some of this darker shimmer shade. And we're going to do that this half of our eye, and then we'll put this color right here on the inner part of our eye. So I'm just going to use my finger to apply these because shimmer shades always apply better with your finger. If you have bigger nails, I know a lot of times that's hard, so just use a wet brush to help it pack on there easier. I used to get my nails done all the time, but with 2 kids in car seats, the nails just don't hold up to it. They will always pop when I am trying to get them out of their car seat. Okay, so I'm going to go back with my first brush and just blend everything out really good. The only bad thing about these little eyeshadow palettes, they don't have a good, or this one doesn't have a good brow bone color. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the highlighter palette that we're going to be using. And this is by I Heart Revolution, and it's the Bronze and Glow palette. And this is what that looks like. So I'm going to grab this brush right here and use this end to highlight my brow bone. Okay, we got that done. Let's go ahead and do our face. So for today's foundation, I'm going to be using the Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in the color 455. Go ahead and do a few pumps. All right, let's see how far that gets us. Let's go ahead and blend that out. And I'm not using a primer today because I did my skincare this morning and my skin was already good and hydrated. So that's, for me, that's a step you can skip because I think skincare is more important than a face primer. And don't forget to always blend down your neck some. You don't want to see where your foundation stops. I'm actually going to put a little bit more on than I normally do just to make sure that foundation is good and thick on there so we can see how it's actually going to hold up. Now that we got our foundation blended out good, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer today and see how it holds up in the water as well. Now this is actually a pretty good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, which I also love. Just going to go in with that sponge that we use for our face and blend this out under our eyes. And I always take the concealer up my nose and onto this part of my face just a little bit, just to kind of highlight the middle of my forehead as well. And I actually use a concealer that's a little bit lighter than what I should, because I just like to use one powder to set my whole face instead of having to use a lighter powder for my under eye to keep my concealer brighter, and using a darker one for my face just kind of saves time. And since I do that, this is so bright, when I use that color that's closer to my skin tone, it tones my concealer down. Okay, now that we got our concealer good and blended out, let's go ahead and set it. Today I'm using the Maybelline New York Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in medium, and that's what it looks like. Just got a little bit in the lid right here, swirl it around, and just tap that underneath our eye. And if you don't set your concealer right after you do it, just make sure you don't have any creases before you set it. Because once you set it, you're going to have that crease in there. And nobody wants wrinkles made under their eye. Okay, now I'm just going to get my bigger brush and go ahead and set my whole face. And like before, just put it in here and swirl it around like this. And then tap off the excess. And remember to tap this on your face. Don't smear it. Just tap it in. And I also, the powder that I use on my face, I also do it just like this down my neck, just to help things blend a little bit better. Now that we got our face all set, let's go ahead and finish up our eye. So I'm going to go back into this darker shade right here. And I'm going to get just a little bit of that and put it in the outer third of our eye, just so that the underneath of our eye has a little bit of sparkle as well. And then I'm going to go back to our highlighter color and put that in our inner corner in this portion right here, just to brighten it up. And just kind of blend it up like this. Because with makeup, blending is how everything looks good. If you don't blend out your makeup and everything that you do, it's not going to look good. Okay, so now let's do some eyeliner. The eyeliner we are going to use today is also by L'Oreal, and it is the Infallible Pro Last Long Eye Pencil, and this is black. I'm going to do a thicker line than what I normally do, just for the sake of being able to see how good it's actually going to do when we get in the water, to see if it's going to run or anything like that. So it's not a liquid, which typically I do use a liquid on the top of my eye. But this goes on very smooth, which to me is key, because you don't want to have to like pull your eye to get the eyeliner to smooth out, because that's just going to cause wrinkles. And a girl don't need any more wrinkles than she already got. So I'm just doing the same thing on this eye. Okay, now that we got that on the top, I'm going to do it in my waterline real quick. This is a really good eye pencil for your waterline. It's super pigmented and it just glides on there. Okay, so our eyeliner's done. Today for our mascara, we're going to be using the Bambi Eye Mascara Waterproof. And I'm pretty sure this is by L'Oreal too. So I'm going to put 2 coats on top, 1 coat on bottom, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got my mascara on and I went ahead and did my eyebrows, so we can go ahead and get that out of the way. And let's go ahead and start with our face now. So for bronzer, this is my favorite bronzer. I love this bronzer. This is the L'Oreal Paris Bronze Please, and this is the color 003. And this is what it's like. This is a huge pan, so it's going to last you forever. I've had this probably 3 months now and you can't even tell. And I literally use it almost every day. It's just the best bronzer ever. We got our face all bronzed up. Now let's do a little bit of blush. And today we're using the Rimmel Maxi blush. And this is the color we're using today. This is 005 is the number for it. So I'm going to use a real light hand just because it's such a dark color. It's always better to have to build something up than put way too much on and then have to try to worry about taking it off. And I was actually a little worried about this color because it is a super dark color, but it actually looks really good with this eye color. Okay, now that I got that on, as usual, I'm going back with my sponge and tapping over it because it tones the color down a little bit. So I always put a little bit more than what I actually want to end up on my face, because I know I'm going to go over it and press it in with the skin, into the skin with my sponge. That way, once it takes a little bit of what's on there off, it looks perfect. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this matte bronzer right here and do a little bit of like a contouring thing. A way I found to do this easy, I always do my face like this. And you see how you can tell that line right there? I just lightly go across that line. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I didn't do a super defined contour because I wasn't going for that look today. So now we're going to go back into that same palette we used earlier and that we just used to contour. Well, let's do some highlight. Let's see how this looks on the face. This is a very pretty highlight. And don't forget to highlight the center of your face. And you don't have to do a lot, just do a little bit. I'm also going to go back in and tap over that as well. To me, I feel like the makeup and stuff stays better if I do this, because it just kind of presses it into the skin and kind of bonds it with everything else that's on your face. So it helps it stay better. Okay, now that we're all highlighted up, the last thing we have to do is our lips. And I love doing my lip. Okay, so today for lip liner, I'm going to be using the NYX Professional Makeup Suede Matte Lip Liner in the color Sandstorm. Lip liner is definitely something I cannot talk and do at the same time. Okay, Okay, our lip liner is done. And is that something y'all like to use? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do, what's your favorite color that you like to use? So today for our lipstick, I love the packaging of this. I love me some Wonder Woman. So today's color is Amazon, and this is by Revlon. Let's see what this, I love this color. It is just beautiful. Hopefully it looks as good on my lips as it does in this tube. It is very matte, but it is still creamy even though it's matte. And I love this color. This is a beautiful fall color. Alright guys, so our makeup is done. Let's go ahead and fluff this hair up. Alrighty. So this is our finished look. What do you guys think? I am loving this lipstick with this eyeshadow color. Okay, now that we got our makeup all done, I'm going to be doing a little wear test, and it is 11:40 right now, so I'll be checking in a little bit throughout the day to let y'all see how this makeup wears, and at the end of the day, probably about 6 hours from now, we'll jump in the pool and see how it holds up. See you in a little bit. Hey guys, so I just wanted to check in with y'all. It's only been an hour, but I also just finished eating lunch, and I wanted y'all to see how the lipstick lasted through lunch. I think it lasted pretty good. See you in a little bit. Hey guys, just checking in. It is officially 2:40, so we've had this makeup on for about 3 hours, and so far it looks good. The lipstick's holding on. I've ate my lunch. I've been drinking constantly. It's not as prominent as what it was, but I think it still looks good. Everything else looks great. It's not really settling anywhere. Of course, it settled a little bit in my wrinkle up here, but pretty much everything does that because obviously I squinch my forehead all the time. But so far so good. Check back in a little bit. Hey guys, I'm doing one last check-in. It is 5:40, so I've had this makeup on for about 6 hours now. Everything still looks great except for the lipstick. It's faded, but as you can see, everything else still looks awesome, I think. I mean, of course I had a little bit of settling here, but just like before, that's with everything. And I've been sweating, been walking around outside, but I got my wetsuit on, and it's about time to go jump in the pool. Okay guys, it's time for the water test. I'm just gonna give the camera to my hubby. He's gonna go on the other side, and I'm gonna swim through the water and come out on the other end and see how this makeup holds up. Wish me luck. Here he goes. Well, how does it look, guys? Do it look like a raccoon yet, or did it hold up? Alright guys, I am out of the water. I still have not even touched the towels in my face because I wanted y'all to see how the makeup held up. It looks fantastic. So this makeup is definitely waterproof, and my skin still looks absolutely fabulous. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and press that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. Thank you so much. Bye.